One of the highlights of the presidential election season, at least for me, is always the debates. Inspired by the start of that process, this week we're taking on some of the big debates in gaming. So we've assembled what we think is a definitive list of the greatest debates in gaming.
Yes.
So let's lay out the ground rules. I will ask the question. Whoever I call on will have a minute to answer. And
Okay.
then,
Sounds
then
good.
Somebody else will get a rebuttal of a time to be determined.
Excellent.
Okay, great. Leaving it very ambiguous.
Does that seem fair?
Sounds very American, Randy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I've seen a few of these. So, Mr. Ross.
Oh, yes, that's me.
First question's for you. Are games getting too violent? Have they already crossed a line regarding violence?
Oh, man, you skipped one. Okay,
Okay,
our game's getting too violent. Let me consult my notes. When's the timer start?
Now. It started a minute and a half ago.
Oh, dear. Okay. No, games are not getting too violent. In fact, they really haven't gone far enough in the amount of violence we've seen. We've got, these HD consoles pushing millions of pixels and 1080p, and I still haven't seen, the cross-section of a bullet go into somebody's body and out the other end, all their organs exploding in the crisp resolution that I would like to. Also, there's never at any point have I been playing a video game and had actual blood come out of my TV. So, we've got motion controls, we've got haptic feedback, we've got surround sound, and yet my living room still looks exactly the same as it did when I finished playing a game as it did when I started. So,
so you want real world damage.
I want you to be able to tell that I've been playing Mortal Kombat. So yeah,
that would be amazing. Yeah.
So we're talking about no better graphics. Graphics are fine as they are. We need more realistic, more immersive violence in the next generation. That's I think the Wii U is ready to lead that charge.
All right, so Mr. Sandu, Senator Sandu. Well, you can't be a senator. You weren't born in the United States.
That's okay. Canada has senators as
Although,
well.
apparently you can be president.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be here. I mean, it is truly an honor to be here standing in front of all of you today. My opponent, I really don't know what the hell he's talking about. I think video games are far too violent, quite frankly. We always focus on guns and shooting and violence and all this nasty stuff. And what I want to know is, where is the love in video games? Where is my Care Bear game where I get to hug a Care Bear and enjoy the softness of the fur? I don't understand why we're just so obsessed with guns and blood. It doesn't make any sense to me. I want chocolate and bunnies and bears in my games, and I think there is a market for that. And I hope that we can come together in a beautiful circle of happiness and love and develop these games together so we can all just have a much, much more fulfilling life. Thank you very much.
Once again, Paul betraying his Canadian roots there, I think. All right, so cool.
I don't get a 15-second response?
Sure, 15 seconds, go.
You know what's better than a chocolate bunny and flowers is if you could take that chocolate bunny afterwards and shoot somebody's head off with it. Right? Isn't that what everybody was thinking?
Yep, always.
I will just quietly weep in the corner.
When I play a game, how can I turn this into a gun? How can I beat somebody's face in with this?
Well, that's all. That's really all you need to do.
So
that's
sad.
What video games are.
So sad, gentlemen. So sad.
All right, next question. We'll start with you, Mr. Sandu. Who is better for the gaming industry, Mario or his younger brother Luigi?
Once again, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be here and have this platform to voice my opinions. It truly is an honor to be here. And I'm sure my opponent will say that Mario is better, and which is why I must say that Luigi...
All right, time's up, Mr. Sandu. Mr. Ross, what is your take on that?
I am not a Mario advocate, as my opponent was about to suggest. I think I'd go with Luigi all the way. I mean, who is really innovating in this industry? We've got 7 Mario Kart games with his face plastered all over these things. Luigi is the one running around with a vacuum cleaner. How many vacuum cleaner games have there been in the grand history of video games? Until Luigi came along, I don't think there were any.
I can't think of any.
So, right.
I object. My opponent is stealing my point from me.
Right. Okay, cut his mic.
Because all right,
Plus,
Mr. Sandu,
when Mario went missing, who went out and looked for him?
Mario.
That would be Luigi.
Right, exactly. It's always Luigi.
I have nothing to say in rebuttal to that except that I agree, and I want to give Mr. Ross a hug.
All right, next question. We'll go with you again, Mr. Sandu. Teabagging, victory crouching, is an epidemic sweeping across gaming culture. How would you put an end to this disease that has infested online gaming?
Well, once again, I do want to thank you for allowing me to be here. It truly is an honor to have this platform. And I have to say that the only true solution to eliminating victory crouching from this gaming culture of ours is to take a baseball bat and bludgeon the head of all these people who enjoy teabagging people when they beat them in Halo.
Well, that doesn't really sync up with your perspective on video game violence. How do you account for that inconsistency?
I'm a politician, and the only way to succeed and survive is to be completely disingenuous with any answer you give and just contradict yourself at every turn.
Well stated. Do we need a rebuttal on that, Mr. Ross?
Well, my opponent makes some interesting points, although they do seem to contradict his earlier stance, so make of that what you will. But I disagree. The one true way to eliminate teabagging in our gaming culture is shot callers. Just
with
remotely activated shot callers. As soon as it detects that you're hitting that B button over and over again, you receive possibly a fatal electric shock. And maybe for good measure, your head could explode.
Awesome. I'm in. All right, so final question of the this weird debate. We'll go to you, Mr. Ross. You can start. What is your plan to stop Japanese and Canadian video game characters from coming to the U.S. and taking jobs away from American video game characters?
That is a very good question, Mr. Dickinson. What is your plan to stop Japanese and Canadian video game characters from coming to the U.S.?
Well, that's what I was asking you.
Oh, no, I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Well, I think we need stronger sanctions. I think we need dogs at the border, maybe. Well, at least at the border of Canada. I guess putting dogs on the border of Japan probably wouldn't help too much.
The duck hunt dog?
Duck hunt dog, right, yes, sure. Yeah, I can't think of too many Canadian video game characters, but maybe those guards on Mark of the Ninja. Certainly Japan has a number of video game characters, sure, that have been coming to the United States and taking jobs away from Ratchet and Clank and Nathan Drake. I think, we need to offer companies better incentives for explorers and strange robotic characters that solve crimes across the United States, across the universe. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but so that's what we need. Oh, and do I, Paul, I guess, rebuttal?
Well, the only thing I have to say is, for the past 50, 60 years, it has been an honor to be here and have this platform to speak my piece. But there has been an invasion of talent coming from north of the border without you even knowing about it, especially in Hollywood. Most of the most famous stars in the world are actually Canadians posing as Americans. And whether you like it or not, we are coming for your video games as well. There is no stopping us.
So that's much less of a rebuttal than it is an ominous threat.
Exactly.
I don't need to rebuttal it. It's already happening.
You don't need to rebuttal it? I don't know if that's a word.
That's what they say in Canada.
Yeah. All right. So you guys want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Closing statements? Mr. Ross, anything in closing?
Violence? I don't know.
Violence?
Where can I get a Wii U?
I think you're screwed on that.
That's more of a closing question.
You can buy one from me on eBay on December 24th for about $600. Paul, any closing statements?
No, just thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, and I will be buying us all drinks afterwards so we can get along and be happy together.
Aw.
The Crown Royal is on the house.
All right, so one of the other questions I had here is, what do you think President Obama and Governor Romney's favorite video games are? I had a funny answer for Romney, but I'm not sure what my answer is for Obama yet, so let's kick it around. Romney, New Super Mario Brothers 2, because the goal is to get as many coins as you possibly can. Ha!
I get it.
Yeah, see what I did there? He's rich, and that's why it's funny. And President Obama, I don't know. I'm not really sure.
If I can just go completely in the wrong direction, I heard President Clinton was famously, or maybe not so famously, but he was addicted to some video game at some point, which he revealed on The Daily Show, maybe, in a recent interview.
Oh, really?
And he would not reveal what the game was. So somebody please get on that. You need some dirt on this guy. I mean, besides all the other dirt, but
Well,
I would
right.
like to know what his
Yeah, that's what
favorite
we
video
need.
game
More
was.
dirt on Clinton.
Really
Yeah.
curious.
I am as well. I didn't know. I don't know. It'd be cool if we had a president who was actually a gamer.
Yeah. What's Obama's gamer tag?
Deprez669. All right. So, well, thank you. That was strange and not at all what I thought it would be. But let's wrap this thing up. So you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. DJ, what's your last call?
I don't know. What is my last call? I've been busy lately.
Can you tell that we were super excited to talk about Borderlands and didn't really flesh out the rest of this shit?
Yeah, I gotta go play Borderlands. I'll talk to you guys later.
Paul, what's your last call?
Looper. Go see it.
I want to see it. It looks really good.